Okay, welcome back to the next part, which is probably the last part of this video, where we went from the moon all the way back to the Earth, and our goal was to get to the Earth, arriving in plane with the ISS, and then using the Earth's atmosphere as a brake so that we wouldn't use any more fuel than we absolutely had to. And all things considered, this has been a very fuel-efficient mission so far. Last thing we need to do is close the distance between the XR2 and the space station and dock. So I'm just doing a little bit of corrective translation here. And let's go back to this view because we're pretty much done with the internal side, and it would be these MFDs just show up better in the video playback. So let's copy this information to the HUD so we can see our trail docking corridor, and let's go ahead and actually open the nose cone.
Rotation. Translation.
And I'm going to put the velocity vector off to the left a bit because I can tell that as I'm going forward it's continuing to move to the right. So if I set it over here, actually it looks like even TransX is useful in that regard. Okay, let's go forward.
5,000.
Let's rotate so you can see it.
Four 4,000. 3,000. 2,000. 1,000. 900. 800. 700. 600.
Okay, slow things down a bit.
Translation. Rotation. Translation. 500. Rotation. 400.
Just trying to make sure I can see where I'm going.
Translation. 200.
And then we'll roll over here in a moment.
Rotation. 100. 75. Translation. Rotation. Translation.
Okay.
Rotation. 50. 40. Translation.
Okay, we're almost there.
Rotation. 30. Translation. Rotation. Translation. 20. Rotation. Translation. 15. Rotation. Translation.
Feels like the
10.
ISS is rotating.
9. Rotation. 8. 7. Translation. 6. 5. 4. 3. Rotation. 2. 1. Translation. Contact.
And there we have it.
Houston, we show capture and hard dock. Congratulations.
So that will complete this mission. That takes us from Brighton Beach all the way back to the Earth. The trip back to Earth didn't go quite as planned. I'm going to have to go back to that save scenario right after the eject point and see if I can figure out why I ended up back at Earth with a relative inclination of 6 point, whatever it was. It may just be that I left the moon too soon when I was fast forwarding time while I had the ISS brought up and I was looking at where the orbital line was at. I may not have let it go forward enough before I went back to the other vessel, so that might have been part of it. But I really think that even if that's the case, that I could have overcome that with the right mid-course correction. So I think that if I go back to the save after the burn was complete at the moon, that I can get back to Earth with a better relative inclination. Nevertheless, I still completed everything that I wanted to complete, mainly, so I will call it a success at least. Go ahead and turn on external cooling. We'll get our
External O2.
cooling from the ISS.
External
Cooling and oxygen, that is. And now we'll Control S to save the scenario right here where we're at. And I don't know if I'll necessarily pick up this scenario and do anything else with it. Maybe I will. Maybe we can undock and go back to the moon or something. So that will end this video. If you have any questions, leave your questions, comments, all of that good stuff down below. And I will see you next time.